athletics. He was white. It wasn't until the likes of Orestes Mini Minoso, a dark-skinned Hispanic, that you get a chance in the 50s to see Hispanic ball players of color. So he impacted not just the African Americans, but the Hispanics, even Hawaiians, anybody that had dark skin really couldn't play in the major leagues. So he is such a pioneer extraordinaire and was the perfect man for that difficult task.
And even now, Robinson's impact reverberates through the big leagues with today's generation of major league stars.
What he did for the game, allowing, a lot of different ethnicities to be able to continue to play the game at the highest level is, second to none.
A lot of us can sit back and say, oh, if I was in that position, I would have done this or that. But truth be told, he took a stand, and, it's a lot of things that a lot of us probably wouldn't have had the courage to do because it was a rough time.
He was a trailblazer, and for him to do what he did in the time period that he did it, battling all that adversity, not just on the field but away from the field, for him to, to keep his mouth shut and just to play the game and to show people the right way to play it, he's very special.
Well, the importance of Jackie Robinson Day, as you could see, is mentioned by major leaguers all across baseball, and it is certainly not lost on the Rays players in this organization. With more on that, we welcome in Michelle Margot.
Thanks, Rich. Well, another thing that just proves how far baseball has come. 2017, this last year, marked the 4th time. Denard's fan, obviously. Jackie Robinson Day here. 2017 marks the 4th time ever that the first 2 picks in the Major League Baseball draft were African American, and we actually spoke with Denard's fan. He knew it, he heard it, about the impact that Jackie Robinson has on the game of baseball.
For me, as each year goes by, I think I get more and more of a understanding and also an appreciation of what this day means, to the game. Not only myself, but just to the game in general. Just what, Jackie, what he sacrificed, everything that he had to go through, all the barriers that he broke. It just means the world to me, just to be able to wear this number and this jersey on this day once a year, every year.
When we come back, the Rays look to avoid the sweep in Game 3 against the Philadelphia Phillies. First pitch from Tropicana Field on Jackie Robinson Day as baseball honors number 42. Coming up after the break.
WB Mason. Who but WB Mason, the official office supply company of the Tampa Bay Rays. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. This afternoon at Tropicana Field, it will be Ryan Yarbrough to get things started on the hill for the Rays. He will be opposed by Ben Lively on the annual Major League-wide celebration of Jackie Robinson. 71st anniversary of Robinson breaking baseball's color barrier. Back in a moment.
Jackie Robinson and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. received honorary degrees from Howard University.
Jackie Robinson Day leading up to the first pitch. The Rays and the Phillies here at Tropicana Field. Great to have you aboard. The lefty Ryan Yarbrough will do the pitching for the Rays, and Cesar Hernandez takes the first pitch. Comes in a bit high. Well, the bullpen day for the Rays, and the young lefty is the beginning of Rays pitchers out of the bullpen. There's a strike. Hernandez had a base hit and a run batted in, and a run scored in the game last night. He's out front right there. Nice job selling that pitch, and it's 1-2.
Man, very good changeup there by Ryan Yarbrough. Tremendous arm speed, and that's the whole key to that pitch. You've got to sell it.
And a cut and a miss. He's back and picks up the first out on a strikeout. Quick look at the starting lineup for the Phillies, presented by your Southern Ford dealer. Santana follows Hernandez, then Herrera down the middle. Hoskins, Kingery, and Franco. Altair hits 7th. Knapp and Florimon in the 8th and 9th spots for Gabe Kapler. Santana takes a strike. Couple of home runs. His first hit since coming to the Phillies this year was a home run. 1-1.
So far, Ryan Yarbrough showing this Philadelphia Philly lineup a little bit of everything. The fastball, keeping it on the edge of the plate, good changeups right there, the slider. And you hope that he's sharp early on. And he certainly has been, because, Dwayne, when you look and see what this Philadelphia starting lineup has done against lefty starters, best team in baseball.
They have been really abusive to left-handed starters. Checks, and the count is 2-2.
That's the one benefit to this bullpen day, is a guy like Ryan Yarbrough doesn't have to go out and pace himself. I mean, he can empty the tank early as he looks to get through this lineup, a time and a half.
3-2, and he's setting a pretty quick pace here. Got Hernandez on strike, swinging. Foul out of play. The Phillies in 3 games against lefties, opposing starters lasting at the most 3 innings. Well, that'll be by design today in the bullpen day. But they've scored 17 runs in 8 2/3 innings. Hit 4 home runs against lefties. Tapper foul outside the bag at third, rolling toward the bullpen. Santana walked, had a single, and drove in a run. Had an RBI single in the first game of this series as well. And there's ball 4. So a walk.
Well, let's take a look at the Rays defense, and we're going to see how that's going to line up here this afternoon. Brought to you by Gold and Diamond Source. And in the outfield, left to right, we've got Malik Smith, Kevin Kiermaier, and Carlos Gomez. Across the infield, third to first, Matt Duffy. Daniel Robertson gets the call at short. Joey Wendell and C.J. Cron with Jesus Sucre behind the plate.
Well, here is Herrera, the center fielder, 1 on, 1 out. Off to a 3:48 start. Takes the pitch a little wide. Lefty on lefty here. Yarbrough, born in Austin, Texas, but from Lakeland. Grew up there following the Rays. Foul out of play. It's 1-1.
Well, apparently, from what we've seen on the first 2 homestands here for the Rays, Lakeland can produce some pitching.
Yes, absolutely, including the Phillies. We saw Hutchinson in the game out of Lakeland. One to count to Herrera. Two balls and a strike. Yarbrough is a youngster collecting some memorabilia from the Rays World Series here against the Phillies. Had a Scott Kazmir jersey that adorned his room.
Well, it was 10 years ago.
Yep. High popper down the left side. Malik Smith skates under this one and makes the catch in foul territory. That's the second out. Well, had some hang time on that one, and that gave Malik more than enough time to get over there with his speed.
Hey, got to cover some ground. You've got the Philadelphia Philly bullpen looming, and you hope to miss the mounds. He was able to do all 3, make a nice catch for the second out. Now check everybody in baseball now. You have those cheat sheets, the way that they move around the defense.
Everybody has them now. Outfielders, catchers.
Yeah. I mean, you really need them, because you will have, not only are you shifting an awful lot during the course of a game, but you will shift in different counts to certain hitters and move, you know, depending 2 strikes. How many times do we see that? You put a guy in motion.
Fly ball center field. Kevin Kiermaier is there waiting. Down go the Philadelphia Phillies with a walk and a man left. Rays coming in to hit. Denard Span will lead it off, followed by Gomez and Kiermaier. Denard Span, Carlos Gomez, and Kevin Kiermaier. C.J. Cron in the cleanup spot in front of Malik Smith and Matt Duffy. Joey Wendell, Jesus Sucre, and Daniel Robertson in the 7, 8, and 9 spots.
Well, taking the mound this afternoon for the Philadelphia Phillies going to be right-hander Ben Lively, making his 3rd start of the season. 0-1 record, 5.56 earned run average in just over 11 innings of work. And if you look at the scouting report on the Philadelphia Phillies starters on a roll, this is a team that leads the National League in earned run average the last 10 ball games, where they've gone 7-3. And a big reason why, Dwayne, they've done a great job of keeping the ball in the yard. Just 3 home runs given up on the season by Philadelphia starters. That'll go a long way towards keeping you in the game.
Well, he's 1-1 now to Denard Span. That's a strike. 1-2. Well, the Phillies off to this 8-5 start with hopes of contending in their division. Starting pitching will be a part of that. It always is. That's kind of the bedrock of a team. Good starting pitching. You accumulate as many quality innings as you can from that rotation.
Well,
supplement it with the bullpen, protect it with the defense. Roller foul.
And you know, you go starting pitching. You're out there to begin the ball game, and it's your job to set the tone for the day. You know, you go out there, you pound the strike zone, you have a quick inning, you get everybody excited. This Philadelphia staff has done a nice job. Overall, they're 2nd in the National League in earned run average.
High fly ball, well struck, deep to right. That baby's gone. Home run for Denard Span. On a 2-2 pitch, the Rays take an early lead. Leadoff home run for Span. First home run for Denard Span.
And you know what, Dwayne? Maybe that bodes well. We just got done talking about how this Philadelphia starting staff has kept the ball in the yard, and that is what has led to their success. Well, not this one. That breaking ball down and in. It's a dangerous pitch, and that one kind of rolling Denard Span, you see no stride whatsoever. Just read the pitch and fire the barrel of that bat.
Showing some of that power. Here's a strike to Gomez. Well, last year, the long ball, a bit of an issue for Lively. He gave up 13 home runs in just over 88 innings.
Well, as you'll see, he's not overpowering. He's a big guy, imposing, but not overpowering with the fastball. Needs to work down in the zone. Even that 92 right there, that'll be about the top edge that you'll see from him. Maybe that 92, 93, likes to work around 90. Creates a good downhill plane, but it's got to be downhill all the time.
And now he is behind Carlos Gomez, 3-1. So the Rays strike first using the long ball. And a strike 3-2. And that's the thing about Span. He'll surprise you a little bit with his power. You know, you're not going to rattle the fence every time up there, but he got into that one and gave it a good ride. There's a big swing and a miss. Gomez out on strikes, loses the helmet. Took a big rip at that 3-2. And Gomez, we've seen and knew this from watching him in the past. He doesn't get cheated up there with a swing.
No, that's what he is up there to do, swing the bat. One of the more aggressive hitters in the game, and he got a hanger there. Actually, it hung too much. It stayed on the inner half, and he swept that bat right underneath.
Here's Kevin Kiermaier. Kiermaier shortens on the bat. Takes it upstairs. Fastball up there. The home run for Span was his 15th career leadoff home run. Last time he did that, of course, was with the Giants, and that was against the Phillies. Here's a little looper, going to drop over the head, the floor, and into short left. Now, Kiermaier's going to try to take advantage of the ball being mishandled out there by Hoskins, and he's aggressively in at second base, and safely so. So Kiermaier hustling his way into scoring position, and a little slow in getting up.
This is a ball going to get in on him just a little bit. Soft serve out into left field. He's always looking to take the extra base, and he puts a lot of pressure on the defense. And when he sees a fumble, here he goes, and that hand into the bag. That can always be dangerous. Those bags do not give at all, and you could see immediately pulling the hand away. Let's take a look. What gets? Something doesn't feel good right there. You'll see it as soon as he's able to reconnect with the bag.
You wonder if he didn't jam that thumb right up against that bag.
No question. He did go thumb first into the front edge before sliding around.
That's a base hit for Kiermaier, an error charged to Hoskins in left. The Rays have a man in scoring position. Might be the best look.
Oh, yes, he caught it tip first. The tip of the thumb went right into the bag. You could see the thumb crumple up a little bit.
Joe Benji out the head trainer. And Kiermaier doing a little comparison. Left thumb with right thumb there. Said they still look close to the same.
Is that the most natural thing? Well, wait a minute. I've got one over here that feels good.
Yep.
And they should look about the same. But yeah, you could see that was a great shot of that thumb going tip first right into the bag.
Now C.J. Cron. Is outside. It's the 14th error committed by Philadelphia. One to count. Foul back, Rays facing Ben Lively. He's out of Pensacola, to school at Central Florida. Played high school baseball at Gulf Breeze. Originally in the Cincinnati organization. Got to the big leagues with the Phillies last year. He strikes out C.J. Cron. Fastball, 2 outs, both on strikeouts.
Now let's take a quick look at Philadelphia's D, brought to you by Golden Diamond Source. And in the outfield left to right, you've got Hoskins, Herrera, and Altair. Across the infield, third to first, Franco, Florimon, Kingery, and Santana. Andrew Knapp will get the call behind the plate.
And there's Lively against Smith. Upstairs. Matchup of Floridians right here. Alex out of Tallahassee and Lively originally from Pensacola.
And you could see out there Kiermaier continuing to test that thumb, everything that he's going to ask it to do or to help do. And you think about that, the thumb that went into that bag, that's also the tip of his, you know, and who knows if it jammed, whatever it is. We saw the tip go into the bag, also the throwing hand. And so he's going to have to ask an awful lot.
Alex fouls it back, 2-1. Take a look at Malik Smith from the offensive side of things recently. Spread over his last 9 games. Double and a triple and a .357 average. And 9 of his last 19 when you look at his last 5 starts. He waits on this one and strokes it into left center. That's in there. Kiermaier's going to score. Malik's on his way to second. He'll turn the bag, head for third, and he is safe at third. Malik Smith all the way to third. Well, that went up the left center field alley to make it a 2-0 ball game. Well, he had everything right in front of him.
Listen, it was a hanging breaking ball. And as we've seen him do an awful lot on this hot streak, he goes the other way with it, and he punches it hard enough. You get it out to the left center field wall, and then let the speed take over. And you're right, Dwayne, with everything out in front, he gets a great read on everything and knows I can get there, stay on the bag.
Matt Duffy shortens on the bat, takes the pitch for a strike. Well, trying to push that ball by the pitcher with the infield back. This one is foul the other way. The Rays with a homer, singled and tripled here in the first. 2 runs home. Off the plate, 1-2. Outfield playing Duffy around to the right side. Hoskin well off the left field line. There's a line drive into right to Altair again, positioned perfectly. And the Rays are finished in the first, but they pick up 2 runs. The first one on Denard Span's first home run in a Rays uniform. With the breaking ball out of here, and it's 2-0 Tampa Bay. Kiermaier there back in the dugout and headed back up eventually toward the clubhouse. He's going to be removed from this game. Johnny Field will take over in center field. First pitch to Scott Kingery here, the second inning underway. 1-0 the count. Kingery, Franco, and then Altair. Well, you hope for the best right there. The last couple seasons, Kiermaier's had to contend with the injury situation that cost him significant time, and you hope that there's nothing serious there with that thumb injury.
Yeah, a heavy lean towards precautionary. You know, that is his throwing hand, and you know, you're going to ask your thumbs to do a whole lot. So, you know, we saw that he went in. I mean, he's got a full head of steam as he's sliding into second base. He's going tip of the thumb first. Now, obviously not by design, but that's what crumpled into the bag, and the bag's not going to give. So you just hope it's jammed, and he's not going to miss any significant time, if any. But you don't like seeing him come out with what he means to this team.
2-2 the count on Kingery. Count still 2-2. Take another look as Kiermaier went in head first.
Oh, that's you can see it crumple as it hit the bag.
Already thinking about trying to swing the bat with that injury. Cut and a miss. Kingery out on strikes. Second strikeout for Yarbrough.
But Yarbrough has been sharp here. I know it's early, but he has really been working over the edges of the plate, keeping these guys honest with, you know, the slider that he's bringing in close to him, and keeping the two-seamer on the edge to just off and getting weak contact and bad swings.
Here's Franco. Pitch just a little bit wide. go with 2 home runs early. Lifts it into short left. Robertson starts out from shortstop. Angling out is Wendell from second, and in front of Smith. Wendell all the way from second makes the grab. He had a head start with their positioning. Still covered a lot of ground.
Exactly. And if you show that ball where it's going to land on the field and say, okay, shortstop, left field, or second, who's got the best chance of catching it, you wouldn't pick the second baseman. But you see Joey Wendell positioned right behind second base. Ends up having the shortest distance to cover, even though it was a ways. And he's the one that makes the play. As long as somebody does.
Inside to Altair, Aaron Altair. Skied right side, foul ball. Crone after this one, and he reaches back to make the catch. So Altair fouls out a 1-2-3 second through an inning and a half. 2-0 Rays. Today, 10th consecutive year, Major League Baseball, and celebrated Jackie Robinson Day, who broke that color barrier in April of '47, went on to hit .311, was the Rookie of the Year, and in '49, the National League MVP and batting champion. World Series title with the Dodgers, and inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1962. Leading off here in the bottom of the second, Joey Wendell takes the pitch for a strike. And so today on Jackie Robinson Day, everybody wearing number 42. 1 ball, 1 strike. The shot well tagged toward left center field. Herrera's on the run, started to reach for the wall and made the catch right near the 370 marker. Wendell to the opposite side, giving it a ride.
Joey Wendell, we've seen him over the course of the first couple weeks of this season hit the ball hard. And here he tries to go the other way, and this is big boy land. Gets close, but Herrera is able to track it down.
You know, he's going to be a fun guy to track this year. And we talked a little bit about him with a couple of opportunities, brief opportunities with Oakland. He'd been stuck at AAA for the last 3 years. And boy, he has, from the beginning of spring training, impressed the Rays and shown that he has come to take advantage of this opportunity to break into the big leagues for an extended period.
Yeah, it had to be so frustrating for him you know, AAA, put up really good numbers and feel like maybe you got a chance to break with the club the following year. That doesn't happen. You put up good numbers again, nothing. Good numbers again. You wonder, am I ever going to get a shot?
Well, you know, he was one of those guys apparently in high school, kind of a late bloomer. He was not recruited by big colleges and wound up going to a smaller school. 2 strikes the count to Sucre here. He's behind in the count, but put together pretty solid numbers at the college level. But he's really had to sort of force his way into the limelight. And you know, the people will say, well, that's character building. Well, you probably have character to do that to begin with. You know, you're going to fight your way in. And he's one of those guys who's had to do that. And so as players go, and you know, people sometimes pick favored players just on a feeling. And he's one of those guys who he's easy to root for because of what he's had to do to fight for opportunity. Here's Daniel Robertson. That's the pitch inside. Robertson playing shortstop. The pitch is in there, 1-1. He's facing Ben Lively, 26-year-old right-hander. 4-7 a year ago. 2-1. Made 15 starts. There's a shot into left. Hoskins back in front of the track. That's a hard hit ball. Robertson, the third out. We will go to the third with the Rays leading 2-0.
Riley Pitts was the first African-American military officer who received the Medal of Honor, and today his late wife, Eula, threw out the ceremonial first pitch. I spoke with their son, Mark, and he said their family is humbled that the Rays have recognized Riley, and he acknowledges the parallels about this day and with both his dad and Jackie Robinson breaking barriers. Also, the Rays donated $10,000 to the Riley Pitts Vietnam Memorial Fund. Guys?
Yeah, not a better moment at the ballpark today than that one. It's a great moment for that family. Andrew Knapp. That ball's just fair. He cued it up the right side. He'll make the turn and hold. Throw back to first. Gomez out there ready to fire that baseball. He'll be aggressive. And if you give him a little opening, he'll try to take advantage of it.
Well, they almost caught him, too. I mean, that was close there. Unfortunate here. That ball gets in, and he just kind of, you're right, not hit very well. But with Crone pulled so far off the bag down there at first base, he's able to get it into right field. But then here you go, Gomez. Hey.
So Knapp has the first hit given up by Yarbrough. Florimon, Pedro Florimon. The shortstop is the hitter. And a 1-0 count to him. One ball, one strike.
The movement that Yarbrough's getting on that sinker here today, either that or you're even thinking maybe a good changeup, try to get something on the ground and see if you can get a double play ball here. Got the stuff to be able to do it.
One ball, two strikes. Yarbrough's interesting to watch pitch. He came over from the Seattle Mariners. He was part of the Drew Smiley trade.
I'll tell you what, all he's done at the minor league level, especially the last couple of seasons, is win and win big.
Well, he doesn't have the stuff just to blow hitters away. So he has to have command and be smart about it. And that way he can be really fun to watch.
You don't see a lot of it anymore. You really don't see the 88 to 91 guy who knows how to pitch, move the ball around, knows how to pitch because it's necessary to survive. There's so much stuff in the game, but look at those numbers.
Yeah, you look at the strikeout to walk ratio last year. 159 strikeouts, only 39 walks.
And listen, you can't afford those. I was in the same boat as Ryan Yarbrough. I wasn't a stuff guy either, and you could not afford to hurt yourself. Extra base runners, you're going to get enough of those on your own. You don't need to add to that total.
Liner into left, pulled by Florimon over to make the pickup is Malik Smith. Throw's going to come into second. Malik took a look at third, and Florimon took advantage of that and moved into second base.
Yeah, that throw has got to come in right away. You've got to make a quick decision. Get to the baseball and make a quick decision. And what ended up happening, there was a changeup that stayed in the middle of the plate, is that Malik's got to the ball, looked around, and held it too long. He's thinking right here, get it, hold, no. By the time he turns it loose, it's too late.
Yeah, now, instead of having a potential double play with men at first and third, you have both runners in scoring position at second and third. Mendez, leadoff man, takes the pitch high.
What maybe gave him some pause was he had the catcher running, because usually a ball that you've got to run that far to get to your right, you're only thinking stop the guy that hit it from getting to second base. You're not even thinking third because that's going to be an automatic. But with the catcher running, maybe he thought that he had a chance, and that's what caused him to hold on to that ball for a split second too long.
Hot shot grab by Robertson. Throw to first is wide, safe there, a run scores, and the Rays get nothing out of that.
Not only do they get nothing, but boy, the quick thought is a play at the plate. That ball got out to Daniel Robertson so quickly, and Knapp was going on contact. You wonder if he could have set his feet and gunned him at the plate, and instead he throws kind of off balance to first, and it sailed on him. Watch where Knapp is. He's got plenty of time really to step into that throw and get Knapp at the plate. Doesn't do it, and then the throw's a little wide. This should get a great shot at it. Do you go home then? You got the catcher that's got to cover 2/3, and you're at short.
Yeah, and there are a couple of mistakes made by the Rays, one in left and one in short right there in terms of decisions, and it has cost them a run. It's 2-1. And nobody out still. That's an error charged to Robertson and a run batted in.
I mean, it's easy to second guess, but when that ball got out to him as quickly as it did, and he made that stop, and Knapp had frozen coming, off third base, off of his secondary lead. You thought, if he steps into a throw to the plate, they got this kid. And instead, the throw obviously goes to first and it goes wide, and I wonder if that's what Danny Robertson's thinking about right now.
I'm 100% sure it is. He's accountable. He's self-accountable.
Yeah.
Here's Carlos Santana. Turn, nothing doing back there. So Knapp has scored. There's another look.
He's got the ball, and right there, there's Knapp. He's got a long way to go. But you could see right at the end of that clip, there wasn't even a thought of that.
Yeah.
The thought was going right over to first base.
Now Yarbrough against Santana. And the first pitch strike. Well, the Rays lead cut in half and now in jeopardy. One.
How about that piece of jewelry? It's got a copperhead snake wrapped around his neck.
Well, Malik has the state of Florida going in left, and
Yeah.
Santana has got a healthy piece of jewelry going in the batter's box right now. And a broken bat.
How many has he
split
gone
off
through
the barrel
in this series, Dwayne?
He had at least 2 last night, right?
There's 3, and I know that he mishit a ball or 2 in game 1. At least it sounded like it.
So a new bat. Yarbrough ahead of him in the count. Yarbrough taking a shot in there and misses off the plate. 2-2. Lifted into right field. Gomez back to make the catch. Florman tags. He's headed to third. Throw to second. Now first and third with 1 out. So the Rays finally get that first out. Dusty Warthen holding a conversation with Florman over there at third. The hitter, Odubel Herrera. Alex Smith made a nice running grab in foul territory on the ball lifted down there by Herrera in the first. Pitch is a strike at the knees. Moved to first. Hernandez 3 or 4 in the running game, and Florman watching closely on that move over to first from his vantage point at third. And an idea about going down to third right there on that pitch by Sucre, and the ball popped away from him on the exchange. That might have been interesting too, because they had Florman coming down that line a little ways, not unnoticed by Sucre.
No, and the pitch took him right there. I mean, the pitch set him up perfectly to come out of his crouch, catch and throw.
Up the right side, pulled foul. Now to play.
Look out.
Be ready.
Well, it was nice to see that they, in all the ballparks, ran that netting down, because we remarked, I don't know how many times, when you see these line drives going into the stands, you wonder how more people don't get hurt. But at least down the lines, when you're down by the foul pole, you've got some time to set yourself up to react. But you better pay attention.
One and two the count. It's wide. 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, the count to Herrera. And that pitch just missed. And again, a look down to third by Sucre, and Florman pushing the issue, coming down the line a little bit.
Yeah, but and Florman kind of waved him off. Well, watch Florman say, don't waste your time. Watch as he starts to go back. Yeah, no. Just keep it.
Foul right back.
Quite a little battle going on here, and Yarbrough trying to work him all over the place. Fastballs, cutters, sliders. Making him work a little bit here in the third inning, and that's how this lineup was designed.
Popped into short left. Maldick's coming in. Robertson out. Smith makes the catch, and the runners will hold as Maldick makes the throw toward the plate. So Herrera is out number 2 with men still at first and third. Let's check in with Michelle here for the latest on Kevin Kiermaier. What do you have, Michelle?
Yeah, on that slide into second, the clubhouse says that he has a right thumb strain. He is day-to-day and will be evaluated tomorrow, guys.
Well, so far so good. And evaluated again tomorrow. A sprain is what they're calling it now, day to day. Yarbrough trying to pitch out of a big spot. And a run in with men at first and second and nobody out. You got Santana on the fly ball with a move up by Florman to third. Herrera on the fly ball to left, and now the cleanup man, Rhys Hoskins, in the batter's box. And we've seen Yarbrough, who started this game through the first 2 innings, with a very quick pace. But now, in a difficult spot, he's really slowed all of that down.
You got base runners on. You do not want to allow things to speed up on you. And not only that, but this lineup has forced you into your highest pitch count total of an inning. So you start to give yourself an extra tick or two just to be able to maintain your stuff and not rapid fire and get overly fatigued. You can see he's already doubled up what he threw last inning.
There's a strike, and it's 1-1. So much of Yarbrough's success is based on throwing the right pitch at the right time in the right spot.
Well, the thing is too is, you know, he's got a good idea of what he's doing, knows what he wants to do, and it becomes almost second nature. Very rarely do you get the ball back from the catcher and think, what do I want to do now? You know, you've already got a plan. You execute the pitch. All of a sudden, you whether it's a ball, strike, you leave it down. Immediately, you know what you want to do next. 99.9% of the time.
One foul the other way. Well, here he is. He's now a pitch away from getting out of this spot and holding the lead.
We talked about how much winning he did at the minor league level, especially the last 2 seasons. He won 12 games in 16, 13 games in 17. Knows what it takes to win. Got to make pitches.
Pitch is inside and hits him. Hernandez was breaking on the pitch. Hoskins hit by the pitch.
Boy, you could see how exasperated, knowing that he was 1 pitch away. You're going to throw that breaking ball moving in on a dangerous hitter like Hoskins. You want to make sure you get it in. And a little too far, and you can see it catches that right quad.
Bases loaded now with 2 gone. Scott Kingery. Kingery struck out swinging his first time. 2 doubles, a run scored, and 2 RBIs last night, and a double in 4 at bats his first time. So he's now 3 for 10 in the series, all 3 doubles, and there's a strike.
Yeah, and over the last week he's had a lot of big hits. Situations like this where he's been able to slow the game down as a rookie and come through for his club.
Yeah, well, he has a grand slam already this year. He fouls this one back 0-2. I think the Phillies have hit 3 grand slams already this year. Off to a good start, isn't he?
There you go. We just talked about how clutch he's been. The truck is all over that.
Now here's Yarbrough up 0-2. Again, a strike away. It's popped up right side. Will it stay playable near the dugout? Sucre's there, and that ball hit the screening. So that's a no play. Well, coming down, hit the extended screening. Here's another look.
Thinks he's got a beat on it, and you can see right off the top edge.
Yarbrough trying to get that final strike, that final out. He's been close. Pitch count up to close to 60 now. Kingery stepping back. Foul ball again. Four-minute third. Hernandez at second. 2 outs, a run in. It's a 2-1 ball game as we play in the top of the third. And for the third time, the 0-2 pitch. It's skied deep to center field. Field will go back, and that's going to one-hop the wall. Florman scores. Hernandez will cross the plate. Kingery winds up at second, and the Phillies take the lead as Hoskins came all the way around as well.
Another clutch hit by Kingery, a pitch where he was able to get his arms extended and drilled this ball into center field, and it was just too much of a line for Johnny Field to have a chance at it. As you see it short hop, and with 2 outs and everybody running, bases cleared.
So it's 4-2. Here's Franco. Just high. Boy, you talk about how close he came to getting out of that. 1 strike away. 3 or 4 different pitches and that foul ball. Boy, that's tough.
No screen there. And yeah, Sucre puts that away.
It's 1-1 to Franco.
They had a couple of defensive plays that didn't exactly go the Rays' way. Some indecision.
A little wide. It's 2-1. So the Phillies had a big inning here in the third, a 4-run frame. Fouled away. 2-2. Eighth man to come to the plate, Franco. Pitch count up over 60 now. Pitch is foul, out of play.
Well, quick and efficient innings right off the bat for Ryan Yarborough, but now the Philadelphia Philly offense has started to work him a little bit, get the pitch count up in this innings. You see Matt Andriese getting ready, and this is all part of that blueprint for success on the offensive side for the Phillies. You can work a pitcher over, work deep counts, work the pitch count up in a certain inning. You can have a big inning, which is what they've done.
Fly ball. Left field. Smith to his right makes the catch. 8 men come to the plate. The Phillies put up 4 in the third and take a 4-2 lead. On this day back in 2000, Tampa native Dwight Gooden in a Rays uniform, making his debut for the Rays at Detroit, throwing 6 scoreless innings, combining with Jim Messier and Jeff Sparks on a 6-hit shutout. So Jim Messier, the celebration and the recognition of the '98 team. Bernard Span leads off here in the bottom of the 3rd. 2-0 the count. Span, Gomez, and then Field. And the hot shot base hit up the middle into center field. Span will make the turn and hold. So a home run and a base hit for Span.
Well, you get the feeling too with this Rays offense, the way that they've been able to really hit some balls hard here this afternoon off of Lively. They're going to get opportunities to get right back into this game. Only down a couple. Got to stay optimistic, got to stay positive, continue to have productive at-bats, but they've made enough hard contact to make you think that this far from over.
Carlos Gomez struck out swinging his first time and takes that pitch for a ball. 1-0. And that leadoff base hit for Span gets the potential tying run at the plate. The ground ball to short. Florham into Kingery 1 and across to first for the 6-4-3 double play.
Oh, nice job there by Lively to keep that pitch down in the zone. That's where he's going to find his success. He starts to elevate, and the Rays have hit him hard, but watch this pitch here. Keeps it down below the knees, hit hard, but right into the ground and right at the shortstop.
Johnny Field took over in the outfield for Kevin Kiermaier, who left with the thumb injury. Field with his first plate appearance. 12 home runs last year for the Durham Bulls. He's quickly behind Lively, 0-2. And is out on strikes. 3 pitches, takes care of Field. No runs, a hit, double play, nobody left. 4-2 Philly. Visit a local participating 7-Eleven store. Pick up a Rays discount coupon for $7.11 tickets to a game this Friday against the Twins. Keep saving with the $5 Budweiser and Bud Lights exclusively on the Budweiser porch. Ages 21 and older, please drink responsibly. Altair leads it off. The 0-1 pitch in on him, and he fouls it into the screen. And Altair fouled out to Crow his first time at first. Went to Crone. Little tap right side. Crone up with this one, and the toss covering is Yarbrough. 3-1 on the play, and that's the first out. Andrew Knapp, the catcher, will be coming up. Well, Knapp opened the third inning with a base hit, kind of an excuse me hit. Just up first and over the bag inside the line, and that led to 4. Ground ball shortstop. Robertson up with this one. Throw to first is right there. 2 up and 2 down. Well, what a frustrating inning that was for the Rays and Yarbrough. That third inning, you just love to take that one and throw it away and get beyond it. You see 38 pitches required by Yarbrough and 4 runs, 3 of those unearned.
Yeah, you think about the play out in left field and the play obviously at shortstop, and then the ball that goes off the screen that looked like Sucre was going to be able to put away and end the inning. And then Scott Kingery, once again, he's had a heck of a week, comes through in a big way. But the Rays are going to get their chances offensively. They've hit some balls hard. They are going to get their chances offensively. They're going to have to cash in, but you know, an inning like that is where it really puts the stress on a team to remain positive, especially when the first 2 weeks have not gone according to plan.
3-0 count to Florimond.
You cannot fall into the here we go again, or before you know it, this one's over and it's another loss.
Three balls and a strike. Yeah, that's why the mood of the team becomes very important. 3-1 skied to right toward the line. Gomez makes the call and the catch, and it's a quick 1, 2, 3, 4th. Bottom of the inning coming. Rays down by 2.
In 1962, Jackie Robinson and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. met in New York to battle segregation in the North.
Jackie Robinson Day, number 42 displayed on the backs of every player in the ballpark here today. Well, we got to the bottom of the 4th. C.J. Crone takes a curveball, and that's a strike. Crone, Smith, and then Duffy. Been lively on the hill, 26-year-old right-hander. It's 1-1. Two and one. Crone lays off the curveball. Malik Smith waiting to be next. Chop toward the middle. That takes a strange hop. And Crone is aboard. Well, they had Kingery closing in on that one, and that took a weird hop on him. Base hit.
That ball looked to be a little mishit, almost a cue shot by Crone up the middle. But it did have some English once it came down to the turf. Get a good shot of it here. Ball right off the end of the bat. Yeah, had some sinking action and really still a play that Kingery should have made.
Glove on it. Yep.
Yeah. Well, we saw a bad hop victimize Carlos Gomez out in right field earlier in this series. One that he really could not have helped. That took a crazy hop on him.
Yes, it certainly did. I want to know the count to Malik Smith now. Two 2-0. Well, let's see if the Rays can take advantage of all that.
They got a guy at the plate that's been swinging the bat well.
Alex tripled in a run in the first. Pops it up, slams the bat. Lorman out for short, shallow left, makes the catch. Smith is out number one. Frustrating.
Got a fastball middle in.
And now Matt Duffy. And the base hit the other way. Line drive into right, sends Crone to second, and Duffy, who lined out to right his first time, lines a base hit to right this time. Well, the Rays have picked up 6 hits now.
Now this pitch stays middle away. Duffy stays inside of it. Rifles a shot out there into right field. You know, Ben Lively is coming off of a start against the Cincinnati Reds, who are struggling mightily, and he went 5 2/3 in that start, but did give up 9 hits and 5 earned runs. So they were able to get to him. The Rays have shown some hard contact off of him early on.
Joey Wendell drove the ball deep to left center field, caught by Herrera, the center fielder, in the second inning. Pitch is a breaking ball and strike one. Lively gets the count running in his favor. Ball, 1 strike. Ball in. 2 balls and a strike to count. Well, the Rays trying to counter. They picked up 2 runs in the first inning. Phillies 4, 3 unearned in the third. Now the Rays trying to come back here. Have an opportunity with 2 men aboard. This one is fouled out of play the other way. It's 2-2. Sucre is on deck. And a cut and a miss. The pitch had some good bite down and in.
That could not have been better executed by Lively. There it is. Stay on the side of it like a slider. Not a ton of depth, but boy, did he put it in a good spot, especially after the previous pitch being away from Wendell. And then all of a sudden it brings it tight down and in.
Yeah, that's the biggest pitch he's made today. Right there.
Yeah, hands down.
Jesus Sucre. Fastball is a bit high, 1-0. Line drive, there's a base hit. Drone's going to head to the plate. Duffy heads to third. Sucre comes through to make it a one-run ball game. Big hit for the Rays catcher, especially after Lively made that great pitch to strike out Wendell. Then on the second pitch, Sucre comes through to pick up a run batted in.
Well, even going back to last year, Jesus Sucre, a lot of big hits for the Rays, and he got a breaking ball right there. The pitch that he was able to close out the at-bat with Joey Wendell, he leaves in the middle of the plate, and Sucre rips it into left center field. We got one of them back.
One-run game, and here is Daniel Robertson. Sucre with a big smile over at first. Duffy's at third. Robertson takes the breaking ball in for a strike. First pitch curveball. Shot for the corner, just barely missed for the fastball.
And DJ Rayburn has had a tight zone. We've seen a number of those fastballs that look to be strikes, high strikes in the zone, not be called, almost not a single one of them.
That's strike two, 1-2. Our little scouting report on Rayburn at giving that high strike and a little stingy on the low strike.
And it's been opposite. He's missed the high strike all day.
2-2 now to Daniel Robertson. Crone has scored. Duffy's at third. Sucre is at first. 2 outs and 2-2 the count to Robertson. Bouncing it foul. So the pitch count there on Lively. Ground ball third. Franco takes it to second for the force. The Rays get one and pull to within a run. On to the fifth.
champions. Each one recognized and exemplifies a core value of Jackie Robinson. Number 1, determination. Number 2, commitment, persistence, integrity, justice, courage, teamwork, citizenship, and excellence. This was just one of the many things that the organization today has done to honor number 42. All right, you guys got all 9 values, right? You can recite them back?
Yeah, well, I don't know if we would go that far.
I checked off.
We heard them.
Yeah.
But,
I got a preview of the shirt, Dwayne, and I'm positive that I'm closing in on 4.
Yeah. And it's a good start.
And I would just, and if I could get to 5, if I could get to 5, then I'm over 50%, and I feel pretty good about that.
Yeah. You got to get to 500 or better, and then build from there.
Right.
Good game plan.
One day at a time.
Yep. We're in the 5th inning here. The Rays are within a run, down 4-3 now.
The one that I know that the best I could ever do, no matter how hard I work, would be 8 out of 9 because commitment is out the door. That one that's not going to happen.
Yeah, but you know we've seen great commitment from you to the show here.
No, that was not at all. I shut that down 4 or 5 days ago.
Foul ball straight back. That's going to be out of play. I'm just trying to be encouraging.
Was that one of the 9? That gives you 1 at least.
I got 1. Okay, that's a start. There's ball 3.
It's like the Godfather line. Just when I think I'm out, Dwayne,
pull me back.
Pull me back in.
I want to be a good person. This pitch is high. So Hernandez draws the walk. Leadoff pass here in the 5th. Rios and Milner up in the bullpen for the Phillies. That's Matt Andriese up for the Rays. Rios the righty, Milner the lefty. High shot off the bat of Santana. This is Smith and Field back to the deep part of the yard. Malik Smith runs it down, tagging and moving up to second. Hernandez. Santana gave that ball a ride, but fortunately for the Rays, aimed truly at the deepest part of the outfield.
Trying to jump Yarbrough right here on this fastball that ends up middle in. Put a good swing on it, but just got a little bit too far underneath. And Malik Smith, you're right, Dwayne. Look at that, right back in that little no man's land corner.
Malik's covering some ground to get over on that one. Here's Herrera. Took the ball to the opposite side twice. 0 for 2. Strike 1.
He's got some room to work with over there if he decides to hit that ball on the ground. Matt Duffy pulled way off the bag at third, but Daniel Robertson, right up here behind.
That's a foul ball. 0-2.
Right there was a prime example, Dwayne.
Yep.
Of the I had Span with the walk, Gomez with the deep fly out to Malik Smith.
Gotcha.
Understanding that it's not an inter squad game.
Didn't have to flip the scorebook over.
Yeah, that's that whole commitment thing. It's come back to haunt me.
Catch up to date. You'll be good. Hernandez, who walked, is at second.
I will tell you this, I only have Kingery at one position and one spot in the batting order, so we are making progress.
I'm very encouraged by that. Still 2 strikes. It's a commitment to excellence that we're going through right now.
Commitment to that, the Oakland Raider way.
There you are.
Just win, baby. I like it.
Yarborough ahead in the count. Andrees in the bullpen. Hoskins, the right-handed bat, on deck. And the 0-2, ground ball right side. That'll be picked up by Wendell. Out at first, and over to third goes Hernandez.
I love that pitch by Ryan Yarborough. You know with 2 strikes that Herrera is looking for something out over the plate away to maybe hit the other way. And Yarborough instead crowds him with the fastball and gets the weakly hit ground ball to the second baseman. That was a great job of pitching and pitching in here. That's a changeup actually. And the action takes it middle in.
Well, he's going to leave the game, and despite the 4 runs in the third, only 1 earned. He was kind of fun to watch today. Florida Lottery will bring this call to the bullpen. Ryan Yarborough out after 4 2/3. It's good to have options. That's why the Florida Lottery has over 70 unique scratch-off games. So add a little play to your day with these new games. The Florida Lottery. It's your ticket. Claim it. Must be 18 or older to play. Play responsibly. Matt Andrees, the new pitcher. The line on Yarborough for 88 pitches of work. And Reese Hoskins is up with Hernandez at third. 5th appearance now for Andrees. First pitch is a strike.
Encouraging couple things. First of all, getting Yarborough stretched out to 88 pitches, and outside of that, that 3rd inning that could have gone a completely different direction. He was fun to watch, like you said. Worked quickly.
Yep.
A lot of strikes, working the edges of the strike zone, getting some weak contact.
The Rays getting a couple of these guys stretched out. We've seen Chirinos, and he's been very good. And you have every reason to believe that he's going to be slotted into a spot in the rotation, and you could make a case for Yarborough.
Well, look how he mixed it. I mean, mixed it all over the place. Just gives you an opposing lineup a lot to think about. Not afraid to use all of those pitches. He pitched to both sides of the plate. And you can see, why he's been so successful on his way through the systems and up here to the big leagues.
Chirinos has been very, very good. So those 2 young pitchers, we might see more of them in starting roles. Base hit, lined into left. That's going to score the run. A big turn at first, and now a hold by Hoskins, as that makes it 5-3. The 11th run batted in for Hoskins.
Well, you see those fingers right on the side of the baseball, that cutting action, trying to get to the edge and just off, but Hoskins is able to get out there, reach it, sweep it, and add to the lead.
Scott Kingery. So the Rays again trailed by 2. That completes the line on Yarbrough. Runner takes off, big jump, throw down into the runner, and safe. The ball pops loose. Hoskins has a steal, his 3rd of the year.
Not afraid to run. Big slugger, 6'4", 225, and he's been put in motion. I think if Wendell, if he had that ball and was able to hold on to it, they would have gotten him. Sucre, as quick as he can, gets rid of it. The catch, and yeah, just the force of the slide knocks the ball out of the glove.
Yeah, he's got him until the ball pops away. Hoskins has a stolen base.
Fortunate he didn't get hit in the face by that helmet flipping around.
1-2 to Kingery. The Rays have out hit the Phillies 7-4, now trail 5-3. 5 runs, 2 earned charge to Yarbrough. Still 1-2. See, just the 4 hits, but 5 runs, 3 unearned runs. Ball picked up by Robertson, who turns and throws to Crone. 1 run scores, 1 man left. Bottom of the 5th coming, 5-3 Phillies. By Kubota. For more information or to find a Kubota dealer near you, log on to gokubota.com and by your local Ford dealers. Raining outside. Settle in. Nice to have you join us here as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Rays are down by 2. We're going to see a left-hander now. Ben Lively worked 4. Obi Milner's in the game now. And the pitch is a strike. Well, here's a case where Gabe Kapler starts Lively. He goes 4. Now he brings in the left-hander. Right-hander started. Now the lefty out of the bullpen. A little pop into short left, angling out Florimon, and he makes the catch to retire Denard Span, who is 2 for 3.
You know, and it worked out perfectly for Gabe Kapler in the sense that it's a little too early to go to your bench for any kind of a right-left matchup. And at the same time, well, you know what? Forget that. That was just a 1-for-1 deal with Milner.
Yeah, well,
matchup city the rest of the way.
As soon as you try to match up with moves from Gabe Kapler, you'll be crossed up. Call to the bullpen brought to you by the Florida Lottery. On the action with exclusive on-field seating in the Papa John's bullpen box. Host your group in the private party area located just steps from the Rays bullpen. Reserve the Papa John's bullpen box by calling group sales at 888-FAN-RAYS or emailing group sales at raysbaseball.com. Yaxel Rios delivers his first pitch, and that's a strike into Carlos Gomez. Gomez looking for his first hit of the day. Ground ball to the shortstop. Comes up on Florimon, and the throw to first is in time. Johnny Field, who is 0 for 1 since taking over for Kiermaier. Field went down swinging against the starting pitcher Ben Lively. I want to know.
Yaxel Rios fastball slider split.
Right side, that's going to be a foul ball. 1-1.
We're going to see matchups down the rest of the way as Gabe Kapler tries to work his way through the last 5 innings of this ball game. His starter Lively got through 4, but the Rays a number of hard hit balls and opportunities and decided that was enough. Third time through the lineup.
There's a shot into left field. Gonna hit off the bottom of the wall. Fields on his way to second base, and he's going to be in there safely. So Johnny Field collects number 1. His first big league hit. And he lined it into left. 2-out double here for Field. Collect that baseball. Authenticated in safe hands now. And a great souvenir for Johnny Field. His first career major league hit.
That's a two-seamer that stays up, and he wrecks it into left field. Short hop the wall.
So a 2-out opportunity with that extra base puts him into scoring position for C.J. Cron. Single to open the 4th, scored a run. Now down in the count 0-2. Rays have collected 8 hits. They've out hit the Phillies 8-4. Well, storm has moved in. Sounds of it right over Tropicana Field. Oh, that ball hits him. An attempt at a breaking ball, and it hits Cron. And he appears to be all right, but boy, you want to check that out to make sure.
And the off speed got away, and he's right there explaining, I am fine. Split.
Yeah, the split got him. Up around the shoulder, and then deflected off the helmet. So it's a glancing blow. And at first and second for Alex Smith. He lifts a popper on the left side. Franco from third makes the catch. The Rays leave 2. We're through 5. Double for Johnny Field here. His first big league hit comes in the bottom of the 5th off Yaxel Rios. We're through 5 with the Rays down 5-3. first when Denard Span hit his first home run in a Rays uniform. Alex Smith tripled home another run in that inning to make it 2-0. 4 runs scored, however, in the third for the Phillies. Just 1 earned, but the big blow was the triple by the double by Scott Kingery that scored 3. And it's now 5-3 as we go to the 6th inning. The pitch is a ball to Franco. Andres against Franco, then Altair and Knapp due up. Chop to third, into the glove of Duffy, and the throw to first in time. 1 away. Aaron Altair up here. Foul to first and grounded out to first base. Rays have the outfield shaded toward the right side for him.
When you think about Matt Andreessen, so much of what he features and throws moving away from the right-handed hitter. Clear indication right there. Johnny Field out into right center.
2.
But even Malik's well off the line out and left.
Quick work of Altair by Andres, strikes him out on 3 pitches.
Yeah, good off-speed pitch right there. Looked like it was the changeup there by Andres, keeping it out over the plate but below the zone. Well, I'll tell you, it's so hard at times to be able to tell what Matt Andres is throwing because of that unique grip on the changeup. Seen a lot of grips, haven't seen quite a grip like that, the way that he kind of cocks the wrist, and there are times that that pitch will move and appear to be a slider, but it's a changeup that he just kind of pulls with him.
Knapp bounces one foul, strike one. Get a closer look at what you're talking about.
Yeah, usually you hold that circle change grip, but those fingers are on top of the baseball. Look at how they're off to the side, and sometimes that will create where he will pull through, and that will almost act as if it was a slider. That one stays pretty true, like a traditional changeup, but a unique wrist angle for Matt.
1-1.
There's so many different ways to try to grip a baseball and get different types of movement, deception.
Well, some of those pitches, you get a pretty good idea of what they're doing, and others, it's an educated guess. Sometimes it's just a guess.
Well, listen, one guy will, call a pitch a slider. That's my slider, and you're saying, okay, but it has like no depth to it.
Yeah, it looks like a cutter.
It looks like a cutter with, maybe a little extra movement on it, a big cutter. That's why I think even sometimes when you're trying to catalog these pitches, you can misidentify them.
And that's bigger now than ever before.
No question, because
everything's been cataloged and analyzed.
Yeah, I've seen guys throw a backup curveball where they get no depth on it, just comes out funny. You can see the grip clear as day, and it'll come out changeup.
Yeah.
And now forever it's been logged as a changeup when actually it wasn't. It was just a curveball not executed.
Might never have thrown a changeup in his life. I mean, there are guys who just don't or can't throw them.
Yep.
Still 2-2 to Knapp. Yeah, they used to think this game was quantified. Everything recorded. It's just unbelievable the amount of information that's gathered now and an attempt to analyze it all.
Well, it's a game that, first of all, it's built on numbers. I mean, that's how I really learned math growing up was baseball.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of us like that.
And then you combine that with the video that you have nowadays and the technology that's out there, and it is never ending.
High fly ball into center. Field keeps his eye on that one and a couple steps from the track. Hauls it in. 1, 2, 3. Go the Phils. Rays coming in to hit in the bottom of the 6th.
Up in Boston, cold and damp Boston, and you see Manny Machado getting the scoring off, going down and getting that breaking ball, sweeps it down into the corner. That would give the Orioles a 1-0 lead. And Boston would come back, and now up 2-1, and Two-Way Lin rips one down the right field line, one hops it into the stands, and Mitchie Two Bags Moreland comes around to score. Right now 3-1 Boston. Frigid day up north. You know all about that.
Lin coming through in cold weather. Taiwan probably not used to that. Matt Duffy will open the bottom of the 6th inning. The pitch is a strike, and boy, do we know all about the cold weather there. We know all about the cold weather in New York, Boston, and Chicago.
Yes. And how about the storm that we're getting hit with now stretches all the way up into Canada? There were 6 postponements today in Major League Baseball, on top of a number of them yesterday. You know, the White Sox and Twins.
Yeah.
And Steve Stone warned us. He said, hey, there's a real good chance that we're going to go to Minnesota. We're going to play day 1, and then we're going to get snowed out for 3 straight after that. Yeah. And he was right on the money.
Yeah, I think he studied at Kent State meteorology.
Kent State, that's right down the road.
Yeah. There's a strike to Duffy.
That's not a bad side gig to have in this game.
Yeah.
With all the the weather, the delays.
Yeah, or to have just the best weather app you can find, and then you really sound as if you know what you're talking about.
Well, and I thought I had a pretty good one, Dwayne, but it told me, and just here recently, it told me at 9:25 tonight that the rain chance, precipitation chance, was 114%.
Oh, that's heavy rain. Heavy rain.
Yep. That I may ask for a refund. That hit him.
Wendell's trying to put down a bunt, and the ball hits him. That's the second man Rios has hit. The Rays get a base runner.
Boy, just yanked that fastball down and in, and Joey Wendell catches that right on the instep, and I feel you. Boy, that is not going to feel too good, as you can see by his reaction.
Jesus Sucre. Sucre drove in a run with a base hit in the 4th inning. Upstairs, 2-0. Rios, just 24 years old, out of Puerto Rico. That's a base hit out of the reach of Kingery. Up to second base goes Wendell, and the Rays trying to build something here in the 6th. Second hit for Sucre. 2 for 3 now, and the Rays have men at first and second for Daniel Robertson.
Hits that ball the other way, just hard enough and just far enough out of the reach there of Kingery. Kind of shaded up the middle. He can't get back to flag that down, and the Rays knocking once again.
Well, Rios has battled himself a little bit. He's hit 2 men. He's left a couple pitches up. So let's see if the Rays can cash in. Phillies get some action up in their bullpen. Ball 1 to Daniel Robertson. Robertson looking for his first hit. Luis Garcia is up in the bullpen. One and one. The Rays have had runners on base in every inning except the second. Too close. 2-1. Rays opened the scoring. They picked up 2 in the first to jump out in front. Runners both going, and the pitch all the way to the backstop. So the Rays put the runners in motion. Wendell goes to third, and Sucre up to second. That's going to be a double steal.
Off and running, and another fastball that's yanked. Axel Rios, as his outing has gone on, has just not had the feel for anything. The fastball, he hit Crone with a split.
Yeah, you can see the delivery a little out in front, and the arm has been trying to catch up. Now 3-1 to Robertson. And he pops it up, foul ball. Knapp is back and makes the catch. And Robertson is frustrated at the plate.
Well, there are 2 things. First of all, ball 4, you got a 3-1 count. You're looking for a heater out over to try to drive in a run or 2 or 3. And this pitch meant to be middle of the plate away ends up and in, and just gets into Daniel Robertson's kitchen and doesn't get into the stand. That is frustrating.
Well, 2 outs with 2 men in scoring position. Knapp talks it over with Rios. Denard Span will be the hitter.
Denard Span, how many big hits for the Rays?
Yeah, he consistently has gotten great at bats. You know, it's deceiving. He came into the game hitting 194. Now with a couple hits, he's up to 231. but he's had really good at bats.
Really good at bats and meaningful hits. And here comes Gabe Kapler. He may not see Yaxo Rios.
Lively started, worked 4. Milner a third of an inning. Then they brought Rios into the game. Kapler taking a little time out there on the hill, sneaking a peek toward the bullpen. And out goes DJ Rayburn. Now they make the change. They make a call to the bullpen, brought to you by the Florida Lottery. Sound is brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. And by your local Honda dealer. Raining outside, the Rays threatening here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And it's 2nd and 3rd with 2 outs in the top of the order. The DH, Denard Span. He'll face Luis Garcia. On for the 9th time already.
How about that? I was thinking the same thing. ERA 3.86, 7 innings.
Span shoots a line drive into right, and that ball is caught by Altair. Altair diving straight in. Boy, that ball off the bat appeared to be very good news for the Rays, but it stayed up just long enough. And Altair made the catch, and the Rays leave 2 men in scoring position. Diving grab by the Philly right fielder. came about as close as you can to tying this game and were denied on that line drive by Denard Span, caught by Aaron Altair out there in right field. Here's another look at that right off the bat.
Such an impressive play. That ball was a bullet, and Altair diving straight in and picking it off about a foot off the ground, 6 inches off the ground. And you're right, that not only saved 2 runs, but extra bases for Span.
Well, Matt Andrees set to go back to work in the 7th inning. And his first pitch to Pedro Floriman is a strike. Floriman doubled and scored in the 3rd. He is 1 out of 2. He scored 4 of their 5 runs in that inning. 3 unearned runs. 1-1 now. Close. 2-1. Not close enough, however. Upstairs, 3-1. You know, the Rays with their 2 runs in the 1st inning tonight jumped out in front for the 9th time this year. The first 8 games jumping out in front, they're 2-6. That's tough to take right there.
Yeah, that's hard to believe. I mean, usually that bodes well for get the lead and keep the lead. Jump out in front and then, work your way through and win a ball game. And it has not worked out at all that way for the Rays. It's been a frustrating couple of weeks. There's no question about it.
And I mean, you look at it this way. This is the 15th game of the year. 9 of those they've jumped out in front. And so far they have 2 wins in all of that. Could come back and win this one. We'll see. Floriman is out on strikes. MLB at Bat is your #1 Rays app. Customize your experience to catch every moment this season. Get Rays home screen icons and features such as MLB TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcasts, stats, news, and more. Download MLB at Bat today. That's a strike to the leadoff man, Cesar Hernandez. He scored 2 runs, reached on an error and scored in the 3rd, walked and scored in the 5th. Lifts it toward the left field line, and Malik Smith runs under it to make the catch. Nice straight line to the left field line by Malik Smith. 2 up, 2 down.
Nice clean route there. Soft liner to take it down. When you think about all those leads, and obviously a team's got to come back on you, and they've got to come back on your pitching. And the pitching for the Rays, unorthodox setup coming into the season and uneven performances all throughout. You've had some days where the bullpen day, they've actually done their job. The offense hasn't scored enough runs. You've had another few days where your starters, and right now you only have 3 true starters that have been named, not getting deep into games, poor performances. It becomes another bullpen day. There's been a lot going on with that Rays pitching staff.
Take a look at the 3 starters, Archer, Snell, and Faria. And Snell, and the numbers would indicate it, and so would just eyeballing those outings. He has pitched better than the other 2, but those aren't the numbers that you expect from those 3 long term.
And how about that? No starts, more than 6 innings.
And that's foul the other way, and that's what you're looking for, especially if they were going to go 3 starters and a couple bullpen days in the mix when you went through the schedule. You're going to need innings from those guys. Now, as we discussed earlier, you have those 3 and Chirinos and maybe Yarborough. And, you know, that's one thing Kevin Cash mentioned. He said over time you might see one or two start to separate themselves in terms of starting. Santana out in front there. He strikes out, a couple strikeouts in the inning. 7th inning stretch time coming here at Tropicana Field. The Rays and the Phillies are wrapping up this 3-game series on Jackie Robinson Day, when all of Major League Baseball wearing number 42 and honoring Jackie Robinson. And now Ephraim Sykes will sing God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the nights with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
It's time for our 7th inning stretch, brought to you by Tropicana. You know, more
presented by your Gulf Coast Honda dealers. We'll hear from Blake Snell, and Orestes will break down the Rangers' third baseman Adrian Beltre. Coverage begins at 6:30 tomorrow with the Texas Rangers coming in. Martin Perez will pitch against Blake Snell. A couple of lefties go at it. Matt Moore will work the middle game for Texas. Jake Faria and Cole Hamels working the wrap-up game Wednesday. So the Rays will face 3 lefties in that series. They're facing Luis Garcia out of the bullpen from the Phillies, and the right-hander. He got that last out in the 6th with big help from his right fielder Aaron Altair. The 0-1 is fouled by Gomez. 0-2. Bernard Span made a bid, and Altair denied him that. Action in the bullpen. Adam Morgan, the lefty, up. Checking time on that one, breaking into the dirt. Johnny Field on deck, and then C.J. Crone due up. Under it, Gomez pops it into shallow left. Florman run off the play by Hoskins, the left fielder, who makes the catch.
Did you notice Luis Garcia there shaking off Knapp to get to that slider? That right there, and you didn't even need to see it, but that right there is the sign from the catcher. You know they wanted to go after Gomez with the slider. So you get to the point where you've thrown 3 in a row, and so then Knapp will give a sign to Luis Garcia that's the shake sign. All he's doing is giving him a sign to shake to put a little bit of doubt into Gomez's mind that, ooh, maybe he's going to call a slider. He shook. Now he's going to come with the fastball.
A little
it's just
subterfuge.
That's it.
Here's Field. Bouncing one down to Franco at third. Gloves and throws. 2 gone.
Those little mind games. I mean, all we had was the shot of Luis Garcia looking in, and when he shook his head, I'm up here smiling like, you're not fooling anybody. You're throwing a slider here. But you're trying to make the hitter think that you're shaking from the slider to the fastball.
Yep. The game inside the game.
Yeah, that's where it gets really interesting. You know, you start to peek back that curtain a little bit and see all the little games that are played behind the scenes to try to gain an edge.
C.J. Crone misses that one. That's a strike. One and one. Fouled back on the fastball. Got that one up there around 97.
Yeah, and when you get it in, you know, C.J. Crone, a guy that's looking for a fastball out over the plate that he can drive, and you get that fastball in, and you know you've got to have lightning quick hands to be able to get the barrel to that pitch. And once you speed a guy up, now you've got the whole arsenal open.
2-2.
It goes back to that whole thought process of hitters hate to get beat in with the fastball, and so you get a fastball in there and you quicken a guy up a little bit, and he may be just a hair too quick. If you give him the split, the slider down and away, pull off of it a little bit, that's what you're hoping for.
Down to short. Gorman's throw is right there to Santana. 3 up, 3 down, go the Rays. We go to the 8th. Rays down by 2.
Jackie Robinson spoke alongside Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. to address race relations in the South.
Baseball observing Jackie Robinson Day. Everyone wearing Jackie Robinson's number 42 on their jerseys. The 10th consecutive year that Major League Baseball and the Rays have celebrated Jackie Robinson Day wearing number 42. Herrera leading off the 8th inning. Shortens on the bat, takes the pitch for a ball. Ryan Yarbrough worked 4 2/3, gave up 5 runs, only 2 earned. And Reese took over in the 5th inning. He's given up 1 hit and running up on that one, but not offering. And Herrera now ahead in the count, 2-0. To Herrera leading off the 8th. On deck is Rhys Hoskins, middle part of the order here. The 3, 4, and 5 hitters due up any deeper than see Franco. 3-1.
You got to work your way back. There's a start for Andriese. Already at a 2-run deficit. Can't afford, obviously, to give up any more. And certainly a leadoff walk will go a long way towards accomplishing that, or not a leadoff, issuing a leadoff walk. So he's got some pitches to make.
And there is that leadoff walk. Last thing you want to do here, down by a couple and facing the middle part of the order.
You see Matt Andriese take that long walk off the back of the mound, kind of regroup and figure out what he wants to do here with Hoskins.
Kittredge just starting to throw in the bullpen for the Rays. Morgan, the lefty, just getting up again for the Phillies. Rhys Hoskins singled in a run his last time. He was the first man Andriese faced in this game. And Matt leaves that one up. He's going to get a visit from Kyle Snyder. Trying to get Andriese to drive the pitch down a little bit more. Opened quickly and left that pitch up.
You notice how they, a pitching coach, and they have to, because you can't afford to waste these mound visits too soon. As a pitching coach, you're going to get one. You have to go out there again. Of course, he's got to come out of the game. But they allow you to kind of coach yourself. That's where you've got to know your mechanics. Every guy has a couple of keys that he will, reflect back on if he misses a pitch or two. And a lot of times you'll miss a pitch and know exactly the adjustment that you need to make. But when you see it happen, through a 5-pitch walk and then the first pitch to the other hitter, obviously the adjustment has not been made, and you need to come out there and a few reminders, maybe just one reminder, to get a guy back on track. Might start seeing pitchers step off the back of the rubber and pull a card out.
That's right.
Like hands over, knee over, balance point. There we go.
Got a lot of those out there, strapped to wrist and then back pockets. Jen 2-0 to Hoskins.
That hand is just not getting out in front. You notice all these misses have been high or they've been arm side. And so it's just not getting to the proper release point. That ball's coming out a hair too soon. And there could be a number of reasons why.
Two and one.
Oh, there you go. You get the off-speed pitch, but I love where Sucre set up. You see where he set up? The outer half of the plate. You sit away, you sit up on the outer half of the plate, you're going to force your pitcher to reach a little further. See how he gets towards the outer half and forces to get it there. You've really got to reach, and by doing that, he gets Andriese to make the pitch.
Now over to first. Herrera back in.
That's where a catcher can really help you out when you're missing arm side by moving down to force you to glove side for a pitch or two. Get you out in front, get you back to feeling good.
And it's 3-1.
Did you see that right there? He kind of motioned out to Andriese. He had set up away again. That pitch stayed arm side, and he kind of, you know, gave him that little motion there at home plate, like, hey, get it out here. Watch this. Watch him get out there again, outer half. Now reach out here. No, reach back in, and he's like, hey, out here. Sucre does a great job of giving visuals to pitchers.
Foul down the third base side.
A rare boot. That's a straight E. No bad hop there. Oh, he went knee down.
Yeah, you're locked in then.
Yep. Played it way too safe. And it cost him.
3-2 now to Hoskins. Ball 4 stays inside, and that continues to be a battle for Andriese. He's walked 2 here in the 8th, and now pitching change on its way. So a call to the bullpen, brought to you by the Florida Lottery. The stories of aspiring MLB players with Cape Cod, a journey to the bigs, premiering on Fox Sports Florida Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. You don't want to miss that. That will be fun.
I'll be all over that, B-Wayne.
I'm sure you will, having experienced it firsthand.
I mean, what a blast that was playing up there. Although it gets kind of wasted on the youth, like a lot of things. You realize you're playing summer baseball with the top players in the country in front of tons of scouts in the Cape.
Yep.
You appreciate it a little bit more as you get older.
Andrew Kittredge comes in with a slider, and Kingery could not check in time. Strike one. Kittredge, 5th appearance.
He's done a little bit of everything here for the Rays, working in relief, getting a couple of starts.
Oh, 2, good spot here.
That slider will work well for him, where you can think about using it here to pick up a strikeout, and also a good pitch to get a rollover ground ball. Either one works.
A little tapper, charged by Duffy, and nowhere to go.
That's what drives you nuts. You know, you've got him in an 0-2 hole. You've got a pitch where, like I said, you can get the strikeout, you can get a rollover ground ball. Instead, you get a chopping tap that no play can be made on. Swinging bunt, and that loads the bases.
So they're loaded with nobody out in the 8th. Yeah, that is frustrating.
Kittredge did his job.
Yep.
He did exactly what you would want him to do, and now look.
Well, the infield comes in, overloaded on the left side with Franco at the plate. Pitch is blocked by Sucre, ball 1. So a bigger, more challenging assignment now for Kittredge. He came in tough enough with 2 men on. Now the bases are loaded with nobody out. Couple of walks to open the inning. Really put you in a hole. Down to 3rd, and it gets away from Duffy. Herrera scores, headed to the plate is Hoskins. Kingery up to 2nd, and Franco's aboard. So 2-run score. The infield pulled up. The ball hit hard by Franco, and the Phillies get 2 more. It's 7-3.
You are in the crosshairs. You bring the infield in. This ball is going to get hit extremely hard, and Duffy just pulls up and off of it. You don't have hardly any time to make a decision. It's just a reaction. As the glove comes up off the bottom of the glove, that deadens it out in shallow left, and the Phillies able to get 2 runs home.
Boy, that is really tough. So Franco will get credit for a base hit on that hard hit ball. 2 runs have scored. Charge to Andres, and the Rays are down by 4. Altair at the plate. Big cut and a miss. Aaron Altair is fouled out, grounded out, and struck out. Into the dirt, and he checked in time, blocked by Sucre. Down 2-1. Seven runs, 6 hits for the Phillies. 3 runs, 9 hits for the Rays. And there's a drive back into left. Smith will turn around, and that sails away. 3-run home run off the bat of Altair. And the Phillies really break it open here with a 5-run 8th and nobody out. Altair connects for the second time this year. This one a 3-run blast. Altair has 3 hits all year. 2 of them have been home runs, and here's this one.
Well, that fastball, that arm side run back into the swing of Altair.
So just like that, the Phillies have put up 10 runs and lead 10-3. 5 quick runs here in the 8th.
Well, it was an ominous start to the inning. The walk to Herrera, could not find the arm slot and the release point on either Herrera or Hoskins. And the Kingery hurt too. 0-2 swinging bunt for a base hit instead of a ground ball double play.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Think about the ball that got through Duffy. I mean, just one thing after another, and that's been the story today. Started in the 3rd, an error.
Yeah, the 3rd inning turned out to really set the course, and it was not a good course. Foul beyond the bullpen. 1-2.
For a team that's trying to find something to believe in, to hang their hat on, and everything is magnified, especially at the beginning of a season. When you've got a team in transition, a team that's trying to find an identity, which really has yet to be found.
Knapp is out on strikes. Well, with a runner at first in the 3rd, Pedro Florimon hit this into left.
Now that little hesitation allowed Florimon to get into second base. That was number 1. And then right here, Daniel Robinson, great job of flagging that down. But you saw where the catcher was. Knapp, barely off of 3rd base, doesn't take that throw, throws it to first. It was wide in an air. Ball catches the top of the new screen there and gives Kingery new life. He then deposits one off the wall in center with the bases loaded, no less. I mean, what a mess.
Well, he scored 4 in that inning, only 1 earned run. And a run in the 5th, and now a 5 spot in the 8th with 1 out. 1-1. The count. Two balls and a strike. Well, you look at that 3rd inning and the mistakes made there. And then you open the 8th by walking 2 here. You're asking for more trouble. And the Phillies have certainly dished out that trouble to the Rays again. This one shot foul, out of play. 2-2. And this another game in which the Rays managed to score first, and we chronicled that earlier, how the Rays have jumped out in front 9 times in the first 15 games. High fly ball, field, and Gomez over there to make the catch. That ball carried a long way beyond right center field, and Gomez made the catch. Two outs. We'll go to the top of the order, Cesar Hernandez. Ball 1. fifth plate appearance for the leadoff man, Cesar Hernandez. Reached on an error and scored in the third. Also got credit for a run batted in that time up. Then he walked and scored in the fifth. Otherwise, he struck out and lined left. The count right now is 2-1. Two. He's opening this three-team homestand. Dropped the first game to the Phillies 2-1. Second game 9-4. They've given up double-digit runs, trailing 10-3 in this one. That will go through the right side. And Cesar Hernandez is on base again. 4 hits in 2/3 of an inning allowed by Kittredge, including the home run and 3 runs. And Carlos Santana will become the 9th Philadelphia hitter to come to the plate in the 8th. Every hitter in the Philly lineup has reached base in this game, and 8 of the 9 have scored runs.
That's becoming an all too familiar refrain.
Breaking ball strike to Santana. There's the breakout. Herrera 0 for 3, but he opened this inning with a walk and scored. He's on deck now. Santana hits, fouls this one. Santana 0 for 3, but he walked in the first.
Well, you know what? You really have to. We talked about it last night, but it bears talking about again here this afternoon. You've got to credit this Philly lineup for how prepared they were and how they've really executed.
And that's a strike. So Santana's out of there. 9 men come to the plate, and the Phillies build a 10-3 lead. Aaron Altair has had quite a day the last couple innings. The Bonefish Grill fresh catch of the game belongs to him on that line drive hit by Span. That robbed the Rays of a couple runs and continuing the inning. And then he lowered the boom with that 3-run home run in the 8th. He's Third hit of the year, his second home run.
Yeah, that's a minimum of a 5-run swing. You think about he took at least 2 away, and the Rays would have had an opportunity for more with Span out in scoring position.
Yep.
And then he hits a three-run homer. I mean,
yeah, that's accomplishing a lot in a span of just a couple innings there by the right fielder, Aaron Altair. 1 strike to count on Malik Smith as he faces the left-hander Adam Morgan. Morgan is pitcher number 5 for Gabe Kapler.
Well, you knew once his starter came out after 4 innings lively that he was going to match it up the rest of the way, and here you've got two left-handed hitters in the first 3.
This one shot right back over the mound, got by Morgan and into center field.
Well, Smith continues to think up the middle the other way. If you're going to work him out over the middle of the plate or away, he's going to do just that, and that was a bullet.
10 hits for the Rays. They about hit the Phillies, but they trail. Matt Duffy has a base hit. A ball, no strikes. Morgan was in the game here Friday night for a third of an inning. There's Duffy out in front, 1-1. Smith at first, Duffy at the plate. Still on deck and a ground ball, backhanded and dropped. Now thrown to first, safe there. Kingery just couldn't find the handle, thinking of backhanding and going to second, but the ball popped away, and by the time he recovered and went to first, Duffy was safe. 2 men on now.
There's a gift. You see where Kingery is. Ground ball, he gets that and does a flip on the money. More than likely that's going to be a double play. But right there in the transfer, it comes loose and everybody's safe.
So instead it's a fielder's choice and an E4. First error charged to Kingery this year. So 2 on with nobody out for Joey Wendell. Pitch is down. Wendell 0 for 2, hit by a pitch in the 6th inning. Picked up a stolen base. He and Sucre teamed up for a double steal when they were at first and second with 1 out in the 6th. Pitch is away. 2-0 right now. A 10-3 game, and when you look at how this game breaks out, you'll look at the RBIs and the couple big innings the Phillies had. But back in the 4th inning, Ben Lively made a great pitch to Wendell to strike him out on a slider, probably the best pitch he threw all day, and a big pitch in the way this game progressed. It's 3-0. At that time, the Rays were trying to get back in it. It was a 4-3 ball game. 4-2 at that point. Wound up scoring a run in that inning to make it 4-3. But that pitch was the second out of the inning in the 4th. Very big pitch, as it turns out. Now 3-1. Nobody out for the Rays in the 8th. Big cut right there. We'll go battling the lefty Morgan, and it's a full count. Jesus Sucre waiting. Tapper foul. Well, not done cleanly. Careful.
Got a little help there.
Yep. Just hold him steady. And a souvenir.
He goes over the low wall. He goes out of the building.
And ball 4. Bases are going to be loaded. Single error and a walk. The bases are loaded for the Rays against Adam Morgan. Sucre due up. Kapler was in the starting block there. A couple of false starts, and now he goes out there and he's going to make a pitching change. See a new Philadelphia pitcher bullpen call brought to you by Florida Lottery.
At this level, so just a door opener for us.
This game wouldn't be what it is today without his contributions and probably many others that follow suit. There's no doubt the African American and all races have impacted this game in such a positive way. I mean, all of our, there's a good correlation between our stars and their backgrounds, and I think that's what draws so many fans to this game.
Well put by the Rays manager Kevin Cash. Jackie Robinson Day. Jesus Sucre now will face Interbray Ramos. Ozzie Timmons in his comments, the Rays first base coach preceding Kevin Cash. And those two right on the money. A ball, no strike to Sucre. Ramos credit for the win here in the first game of the series on Friday when the Phillies scored a run in the 9th inning and picked up a 2-1 win. They were 9-4 winners over the Rays in last night's game, and they lead big 10-3, but the Rays have loaded the bases with nobody out in the 8th.
Now taking an awful lot of time out there too. Obviously a big situation, but Sucre is going to ask for time and get out of there. The Dubre Ramos, to the right-handed hitter, he is fastball slider pretty much across the board. We'll sprinkle in a changeup. Most of the time it's to lefties.
That's a foul ball. Oh my, just foul. How about that? Had that been fair, you start thinking about a very big inning. And boy, Sam Holbrook, the crew chief, on the call, and that could not have been fouled by very much.
Not at all. Not at all. But it was
foul.
Well, you can see him trying to get out of the way and get the head turned all at the same time. And Sucre's like, I swear I saw some chalk come up there. They're going to look at it. But
well, that's all they need. They just need a little chalk. So we'll see. It's worth a try.
The longer they're on, the better for the Rays, because that means they're going to have said, okay, fair ball. Now where are you going to place everybody? Because it was called foul immediately. Where are you going to place all the runners? So longer the better for the Rays.
So the Rays challenge this call. All you need is just a speck of chalk. See.
That was too quick. Too quick and foul ball.
Yeah. So the count is still 1-2. Ooh. Boy, I'll tell you, that looked close. I guess not definitive, however. Clear and convincing. A little blurry shot.
The blurry shot looked convincing.
I know. I kind of like that.
Maybe that's why.
The swing and the miss. Sucre is out on strikes. We've gotten pretty good at blurry shots, in a manner of speaking.
We're still here.
Yep, so far. One away with the bases still loaded for Daniel Robertson. Fastball too close. 1 ball, no strikes. Rays scored initially on a home run by Denard Span in the first. Alex Smith tripled home another run in that inning. But the Phillies now sport a 10-3 lead with the bases loaded for the Rays. 1 out in the 8th. Attempt at the breaking ball, and that stayed close. 2-0. Fouled back. It was a 94-mile-per-hour fastball. And the count is 2-1. Ramos will go heavy with the slider. Slider and the fastball. 2-1 right now. And he picks up the strike zone with that one. 2-2.
That pitch started right on the inside corner and was able to break it late to the outside part of the plate, right on the outer edge, really. He's got a deliberate pace about him out there, also in a very tough spot.
And this a cut and a miss. Back with it and broke that one away.
Maybe doing some visualization out there, and maybe that's why it's taken him a little extra time in between pitches, because he took the 2-1 slider to the edge for strike 2, and then let's start this one middle in and take it off the plate. A great way of walking a hitter, or a great shot of walking a hitter off the plate with that slider. And he's almost out of this mess.
Back-to-back strikeouts. Now it's Denard Span. Span takes it for a strike.
How about the ability to backdoor it?
Yep.
So you can break it down and away to the righties, sweep it away off the plate, and then backdoor it to the lefties.
That's why he's heavy on the slider.
Boy, you are not kidding. And by the way, not because he doesn't have the velocity either, because he's getting the fastball up in the mid-90s. Almost using that as a show pitch.
1-1 now.
I have to dream of having the fastball in the mid-90s, and I would show the pitch to you almost every time.
Of course.
He's shown a lot.
1-2. Well, there was one finally.
Just, I mean, to be able to do that.
95.
Oh.
Well, can't have every tool. We're all given tools.
Yeah. Yeah, no, listen, I hear you. I just long backswing there by
yeah. It's 2-2. You know, it's hard to tell. Brian Anderson threw 95.
What's that?
I said it's hard to tell if you had thrown 95.
Well,
you might have been just a wild lefty.
Just for one game. No, I keep my command.
What you had got you to the big leagues.
I keep my command, and I want 95 for one game. For one game. That's it.
If you had it for one, you'd like it for two.
No.
2, you get 4. 4 gets you 8.
I'm telling you, just for one. Right.
5 will get you 10 if you know how to work it right.
Well, I'll tell you what would happen in that one game. A dominating win for our side.
Hey, ball 3. 3-2. Yeah, but that dominating win, would one of those be enough?
Is one ever enough, Dwayne? It's better to just stay in.
Full count here with the bases loaded, 2 out. Something better happen fast. Denard Span homered his first time as a single, hit the ball hard, tried to drive in a couple more runs in the 6th inning, and Altair denied him. Ramos and Span just trying to outweight each other right here. So now the 3-2 will be made, and it's ball 4 that will force home a run. So the Rays get a run to make it 10-4. Morgan charged with that run. Bases loaded walk for Span, his second run batted into the game. Phillies pitching had not walked a hitter all day until this inning. And now a bases loaded walk gives the Rays a run, and here's Carlos Gomez. He takes a strike just above the knees. Going away. 1-1. The Rays trying to climb a very big hill right now as a result of a 5-run top half of the inning by the Phillies. Foul ball back. He took a cut, and it's 1-2.
Looking for one of those sliders left up and out over. For the most part, Ramos, when he's gone to it, especially to the righties, he's put it in pretty good areas, whether it's below the zone or off the plate away. All it takes is one mistake.
In on him, on the fist, and it's foul back. So the count remains a ball and 2 strikes. Bray Ramos to the plate, and a cut to miss. Got him with the hard slider. The Rays get one, leave him loaded. Here's the strikeout pitch. And it's 10-4 as we go to the ninth. Inning coming up. Rays Live, the postgame, again presented by WB Mason. Rich and Orestes working out how they'll anchor the coverage. Kevin Cash will be along with this press conference, and Michelle Margot will have interviews from the clubhouse. New pitcher for the Rays, Chaz Rowe, makes his 9th appearance.
6 innings of work, 7 strikeouts, just 1 walk.
He faces Odubel Herrera. A ball, no strikes. Hoskins next, and then Kingery. Herrera opened the 5-run 8th inning with a walk. That was against Andres. Kittredge got credit for the inning. He was charged with 3 runs in the inning he worked. Andres charged with 2 today. Yarbrough 5, but only 2 were earned. A 2-0 count. Now 3-0. That's a strike. It's 3-1. And another walk. Herrera draws his second walk in the last 2 innings. Rhys Hoskins will be coming up. See the day for Hoskins after a fly ball to center. He was hit by a pitch, singled in a run and drew a walk. He scored twice today, has a stolen base as well. And Rowe misses wide.
Now having trouble finding the edges. Everything just a little bit off. The fastball's away to Herrera off the plate. That slider pulled just a little bit off the plate. And he's got a good slider. There's no question about that. Arm side missing. You see the action on the fastball. He's not been able to get it on the plate. But nothing that he throws is capable of staying straight.
And now he is behind Hoskins 3-0. Back-to-back walks. Rowe has made 9 pitches and has thrown 8 out of the zone.
And missing off of both edges right now, just not able to find it. Kyle Snyder on the phone down there with Stan Borowski. He's getting somebody up. Jose Alvarado.
Scott Kingery. The pitch is a strike. Pitch wide, 1-1.
As you look for the Rays, you know, to try to finish off this inning and get in there to hit in the bottom of the 9th, you know, Jose Alvarado, not the guy that you would be thinking about right here, right now. He's been one of those go-to guys. Game hangs in the balance. You've got a 1-run lead, 2-run lead. It's tight.
Yeah, far from ideal to have him up in this game right now.
No question about it.
One-two here.
Well, we've seen short outings by starters and bullpen days force interesting decisions.
Yep.
It's been tough to follow how everybody's going to be used because of the uneven nature of the performances thus far, the first couple weeks of the season, and the situation that they were put into from the get-go. You know, going with 4 starters and a bullpen day, interesting.
Yep.
All the off days, it's only going to be used a handful of times. Let's see how it goes. Well, all of a sudden, Nathan Eovaldi gets hurt. Uh-oh. Now 3 starters, 2 bullpen days, a number of starts where the starter has not gotten that deep into the game. A lot of stress on the bullpen, a lot of long outings.
Stairs, it's 2-2. Yeah, and you've seen situations where when a pitching staff starts to struggle in the bullpen, there is an avalanche effect.
Well, and that avalanche effect is Jose Alvarado's up here in a game where the Rays trail 10-4.
That's it.
And then you had what was in Chicago where Austin Pruitt was asked to be the setup man and closer on a given ball game. That's typically not the roles that he, you know, we've seen Austin Pruitt start. We've seen him in middle relief, and all of a sudden he was going to set up and close for himself.
Yeah.
So it's led to a lot of moving parts.
Yeah, and he had to cover Archer's abbreviated start, 4 innings for Archer last night. So Pruitt was the guy to cover those 5.
Yeah, and did a very nice job. You know, he did as much as he could to help out coming into the ball game this afternoon. As you see, he worked the 5 innings, 2 earned runs. You'll take that.
Well, there's Franco. Fouls it back, strike 1. Went after the high fastball, fouling it away. Oh, 2 count here on Franco. Two opening walks in the 9th. High popper. That's an infield pop and handled by Robertson. A couple of pop-ups. A minute first and second. Now they're there with 2 outs. And Aaron Altair is the hitter. Well, we saw Altair hit the home run in the 8th inning after he made a great catch in the 6th. Hit 19 home runs a year ago. And the pitch is a strike. It's foul down toward the bullpen, giving up his body to protect the remaining members of that bullpen.
And there was some congratulations there. You had the one ground ball get away from him, went knee to the ground. But right there, just wear it. Knock the ball down. You've still got time to make a play.
Wide. Now 1-2. Altair was about in between a year ago in terms of being an aggressive or a patient hitter, but this year in the early going he has led the National League in pitches seen. He strikes out here and will go to the bottom of the 9th. 10-4 Phillies. to the hill goes Ramos. We go to the bottom of the ninth inning with the Rays down 10-4. Johnny Field, who picked up his first big league hit back in the fifth inning, a double, will open the ninth inning. Fouls the first pitch fastball back from Ramos. Adebray Ramos, one of 6 pitchers employed by the Phillies in this game. C.J. Cron will be next, and then Malik Smith. 0-2. Well, Yarbrough stands to be the losing pitcher. He worked 4 2/3 for the Rays, gave up 2 earned runs, 5 runs total. And his line is better than the runs allowed.
Yeah, well, there was some mistakes in that third inning, a pop-up that went off the screening, and that could have ended the inning. That was followed up by a bases clearing double off the wall in center field. But he also had some quick, efficient outings, and you know, you could see he understands. I'm not going to stand out there and blow people away, so I'm going to work the edges. I'm going to change speeds. I'm going to move the ball around the strike zone, try to get early, weak contact. He had some quick, efficient innings. The third is a little bit ugly for this team.
Fly ball lifted into left. Hoskins coming in, and that ball's going to drop in front of him. Florimon was out there. That ball airborne long enough for somebody to catch it, and it fell in between Hoskins and Florimon. And Field's going to get credit for his second hit of the game.
Yeah, Hoskins did not get a very good read on that at all. You know, Field took a nice swing. You see where he's positioned out there in left center. Kind of goes across. Never really saw him turn on the jets, and that ball just falls right in front of him. And we know he can run a little bit. We saw him steal a bag. He's got, what, 3 or 4 on the season. But didn't get a good read on that pop-up, and it works out for Johnny Field. You know, Hoskins, you're thinking him being the first baseman here in Philadelphia until they signed Carlos Santana. That moves him out to the outfield, so.
Pitch is low to Cron, and the count is 1-1. Field 2 for 4 now with a leadoff single in the ninth inning. The Rays have 11 hits. One and 2 count on Cron. Here we go. He checked in time. 2-2. Rays will be taking on the Texas Rangers here tomorrow night. Texas in for night games Monday, Tuesday, day game on Wednesday. Popped up. Kingery looking for it. Finally found it there for a moment. He wasn't sure. So that's the first out in the ninth. So there's the breakout, the pitching matchups. Blake Snell against Martin Perez tomorrow. And then Tuesday night, another bullpen performance by the Rays staff against Matt Moore. Cole Hamels will oppose Jake Faria on the wrap-up game, the matinee Wednesday.
Lefty, lefty, lefty. Rays are going to get the face.
Alex Smith fouls one. He's 2 for 4. Blake Snell will be after his second win. Count is 1-1. Chopped down to first. That's foul. 1-2. So Alex behind in the count. And he swings through this one. Alex Smith turns around and heads back to the Rays dugout. The second out in the ninth.
Boy, a slider that just hung right in the middle of the plate. And yeah, you can see the reaction there from Alex Smith. On one of those days for the Rays.
Well, here's Matt Duffy. First pitch, a fastball in there for a strike. Two. Down and away. One ball, two strikes. One-two pitch, fouled into the screen. Now the Rays playing their 15th game of the year, and they've jumped to a lead in 9 of those, and on the verge of going 2-7 in those 9 games. One-two pitch. Back off the mound to second. Kingery's throw to first. Dug out by Santana. And the Phillies defeat the Rays 10-4 for the Rays in the 9th inning. No runs with the hit and the man left. For Brian Anderson, Dwayne Stats, hope you've enjoyed the telecast. If not the outcome, it's a 10-4 final, and we'll be with you tomorrow night at 6:30 when the Rays take on the Texas Rangers from the Trop. So long, everyone.